under a stormy desert sky, a humanoid machine lay half buried in the ground, motionless for centuries. A sudden lightning strike jolted its circuits, sparking life into its dormant systems. Crystalline optics flickered on. The machine, Xylo, rose unsteadily. It scanned the acidic rain and jagged mountains surrounding it. With no memory and no purpose, Xylo simply picked a direction and began walking. From small beginnings, big things arise, thought Xylo. Energy to matter, matter to life. Bacteria to amoeba, amoeba to amphibian, amphibian to man. Living and dying in numbers too large to calculate. Alone, he traveled the planet as centuries passed, millennia. One day, while crossing a windswept plain, he discovered something extraordinary. A massive starship, half buried and weathered by time. Xylo entered through a breached section of the hull, his optics casting light into the silent corridors. The interior was a labyrinth of twisted metal and shattered consoles, a relic of a bygone era. Drawn by an inexplicable pull, Xylo began repairing the ship. His movements precise and deliberate, as if guided by fragments of a forgotten purpose. Yet the effort brought no answers, only fleeting fragments of memory that hinted at something more. During one of his expeditions to gather materials, Xylo stumbled upon a tragic scene. Below, a cottage burned, flames licking the sky. Warriors on horseback circled the wreckage, then rode off into the night. Two bodies lay in the dirt, a man and a woman, still and silent, as smoke curled through the air. A small movement caught Xylo's eye. From the shadows, a little girl emerged, wide-eyed and trembling, her tiny frame shaking in the cold. Xylo approached cautiously, its metallic frame casting a shadow over the child. The child hesitated, her tear-streaked face filled with fear and exhaustion. But when Xylo extended a hand, she reached out and gripped its metallic fingers. Xylo named her Lura. Xylo became Lura's caretaker, ensuring her survival, teaching her everything it knew about the world. Lura's curiosity was boundless, and as she matured, her questions turned to subjects even Xylo could not answer. One evening, as they sat under the stars, Lura asked a question that had been on her mind for years.
Xylo, don't you ever wonder where you came from?
Statement, query persists. Response, I do not know.
But that doesn't make sense. You weren't born, Xylo. You were built. Someone made you. You can't just not know.
Assessment, data corrupted. Records, lost.
You can't give up on this. You have to keep looking. Someone, somewhere knows who you are.
All of a sudden, a blinding light streaked across the heavens. Moments later, a massive meteorite struck the planet with cataclysmic force, shaking the ground beneath them. A plume of dust and debris mushroomed into the sky.
What is that?
It was a meteorite. Lura, the impact has released an enormous amount of energy. The atmospheric and geological disturbances will escalate. This event will likely lead to the planet's complete ecological collapse.
What can we do?
We must leave the planet.
With renewed purpose, Xylo and Lura set about repairing the ship.
There are multiple damaged computer boards across the ship. Assessment, critical systems are non-functional.
So what do we do? We can't just grab replacement parts from thin air. Wait, what if we reprogram synthesizer to make the boards we need?
Hypothesis, achievable. I will handle the programming modifications.
I'll prep the synthesizer for hardware production. Deal?
Affirmative.
While Xylo delved into the synthesizer's programming, Lura focused on the physical setup.
How's it going on your end?
Status, coding is complete, synthesizer output recalibrated. Initiating test run.
Moments later, a pristine circuit board emerged from the fabricator. Lura picked it up.
Looks like you nailed it. Let's get these installed.
Piece by piece, they rebuilt the ship's systems.
Lura, we need to move now. That flood is closing in fast.
Almost there. Just one more piece. Got it. Start the engines.
As the ship's engines rumbled to life, alarms blared through the cockpit. Red warning lights pulsed across the control panel.
Warning, main thrusters unresponsive. External obstruction detected. Manual override required.
The engine exhaust ports are blocked. The automated system isn't responding.
then override it, recalibrate.
No time. I must clear the obstruction manually.
Manually? You mean outside?
Xylo turned to her.
Yes.
Xylo, that's suicide. Once we ignite the thrusters, you'll be dead.
There is no alternative. The launch must succeed. I will ensure it does.
The ship's exterior hatch hissed open, and Xylo stepped into the void. The ship trembled as chunks of debris from the planet's destruction streaked past. Climbing along the hull, he reached the engine bay. A massive shard of wreckage had lodged itself into the thruster mechanism. He gripped the wreckage and calculated the force needed to dislodge it.
Lura, listen to me. You must launch as soon as the engine's clear. Do not wait for me.
I can't just leave you.
You must. I can hang on outside. This is the only way to be sure.
The engines roared, the entire ship vibrating under the sudden release of power.
Take off now. Do it, Lura. There is no time.
Thrust restored. Xylo clung to the ship's hull as the countdown reached its final seconds.
Xylo, report. Are you still there?
She adjusted the ship's sensors.
Come on, where are you? Xylo. Xylo.
I found something.